Hello and welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to our virtual meeting. Today we have a relatively short lesson, and that is going to be lesson number 19-2. And today we're discussing unit price, This is our 40th lesson. Please pause this video as you copy down the heading if you haven't done so already, and the rest of the notes. Pause as you need, just so that you can be on the same page as me and you're not focusing on writing while I'm discussing the notes. By the way, we're not doing number 6. We're only focusing on 3A, 4A, number 10, and number 11. Let's continue. Unit price. So the unit price refers to the price or the cost per one specific item. All right. So again, that's going to be the price or the cost, which is obviously going to be money, dollars, per. So if this is a fraction, this is going to be the fraction bar, per one specific item, All right. And that makes sense because the word unit, again, like we learned yesterday, the word unit means one. So the price per one item. So if we were to write this as a ratio, as a fraction, as a word fraction, the price will always go in the numerator, and then the specific item will go on the denominator. So in all of these problems, on all of these problems that we're about to see, and if you ever encounter a unit price problem, make sure that you have the price on the numerator and the item on the denominator. So it's going to be the price per item, or the cost per item is what you will see it at the store. And examples of this is like if you go to the store and you're going to buy I don't know, a package full of maybe cans, I don't know, canned food. And so if that package has several cans in it, the unit price would not be the price for the package, but rather the price per can if you could buy one at a time. Let's say that you were going to buy steak at the store. All right, they're not going to sell you one steak at a time, but they're going to sell you the steak. The price is going to be based on the pound, on each pound of steak. So that would be the price per 1 pound, per each pound of steak. So that's how unit price works. When you go to the store, I encourage you to look for that, and you'll see that it's everywhere. It says unit price or unit cost, and that is always going to be the price for one of those items. That item can be an ounce, a pound, a package, a can, whatever that item is. All right, and yes, this is a unit rate because it's for one item, so we're still talking about unit rates. An example that we saw last time was $24 per dozen donuts. Remember, dozen simply means 12. So our word fraction is going to be price on the numerator, price per item, and the item in this case would actually be donut. So you can actually write donut right here instead of item. The price per donut. Price per item, price per donut. Now let's write the actual information that is given to us. We're given $24, so that's going to go in the numerator. For how many donuts? For 12 donuts, so that would go in the denominator. However, we want to know the unit price, the unit cost, meaning the cost for one donut. We want to know the money, the dollar amount for one donut. And we're simply going to follow what we know of equivalent fractions, equivalent ratios to solve for that dollar amount for one donut. So we will ask ourselves, what do we need to do to go from 12 to 1, from 12 to 1? Well, 12 divided by 12 is 1, and that's why I love working with the number 1. Because if you have any number and you want to go to the number 1, you just divide it by itself. So 12 divided by itself is 1. So I must divide the 24 by 12 as well. 24 divided by 12 is equal to 2. So that means, ladies and gentlemen, that for one donut, you're essentially paying $2. So it's $2 per donut. $2 per donut. Now that doesn't mean that you can actually buy one donut at a time you're paying $2, but it's just saying that the value when you buy those 12 donuts for each one of those is $2. All right, having said that, let's go to our actual assignment. And again, I encourage you to pause the video anytime you need to take your time, write something down, rewind, watch it again, pause it, do it on your own, and then see what I did, whatever you need to do. All right, so let's go ahead and do number 3A. And actually, we're going to go to OneNote. And 3A is the first one, but 3A has to do with this whole scenario that we have up here. So here we have two convenience stores. We have Kroger's Market and Slan's Superstore. And at each of these convenience stores, they have bottles. They can be bottles of Gatorades. They're using them for some bottle rockets, but let's just assume they're Gatorade bottles. And you can buy one bottle of Gatorade for $1.59 each. That's the same at each store, $1.59 for each bottle. However, each of these markets has a special deal. And I wonder if you've seen that. You go into the gas station, you buy Gatorade, they say, okay, $1.59 each, or you can buy two of them. You can buy two of them for $2.98. So the price is $2.98 for two bottles of Gatorade. Now, if you actually multiply $1.59 times 2, because you're buying two of them, that would actually be more than $2.98. So the question is why? Why are they doing this? And the fact of the matter is stores do this all the time. They're incentivizing you. They are making it convenient for you to buy more, so they're getting more money from you, but you are essentially paying less per bottle. So the question becomes on number 3. It's asking, well, what is the unit price per bottle if you use the 2-bottle deal? If you're not following, let's just go ahead and do it. Let's just find the unit price if we use the actual deal. So we're not doing the $1.59 each. We're going to use the 2 bottles for $2.98. So again, just as we saw in our notes, we're always going to look at the price per item. This is our word fraction. So let us write for number 3, price on the numerator over item, and the item is a bottle. So the price per bottle, and up here we see that the price per bottle is $2.98 for 2 bottles. But again, since we're trying to find the unit price, that means we want to find the price for 1 bottle. Let's do it just like we did the previous examples. What do we need to do to 2 to make it a 1? 2 divided by 2 is 1. So that means that we're going to do 298 divided into 2. And when I take 298 and divide it by 2, if you work that out, ladies and gentlemen, which I do want you to, you're going to see that you get $1.49 for each bottle, per bottle, $1.49. And that is the answer for number 3A, $1.49. Now, that is less than $1.59, which is exactly what I was saying to you. If you just buy 1 bottle, they're going to be like, okay, that bottle, that's going to be $1.59. But if you buy 2 of them, we're only going to charge you $2.98, as if we were charging you $1.49 for each, because you're buying more. Stores will often do that. And it's only for 2 bottles. You buy 3, no, 2 of them are going to be a $2.98. You will pay $1.59 for the rest, for the next one. But again, if you buy 2 bottles, it's as if you're paying $1.49 for each. In number 4, we're going to do the same thing, but this time for Slan's Superstore. So again, we have the price per bottle. And again, we want to figure out the unit price per bottle, but this time at Slan's Superstore. And at Slan's, we see that the deal is $4.35, $4.35 for 3 bottles. $4.35 for 3 bottles. And again, we want to find the unit price, or rather the price, the dollar amount for 1.
Good afternoon. It's time for the afternoon announcements. 7th and 8th grade boys interested in track. There is a mandatory meeting on Tuesday right after school at 3 p.m. in the cafeteria.
I'm not able to pause it. Just fast forward.
We have some important news from the library. If you'd like to visit the library on Monday morning, please come by the library to pick up an entrance ticket. There will be a limit on the tickets. This process will continue next week. Students, if you have any library books at home, just put them in the hallway book drop and your accounts will be cleared. If you'd like to check out a book from the library, just place a hold, and once you receive a message on Schoology from Mrs. Meza, you can pick up your library book. If you've forgotten how to place a hold on a book, there is a video on the Tornado Library Schoology page. Students, also, if you have any belongings in your hallway locker, today's a great day to stop by your locker, your old locker, on your way out the doors to empty them out. We hope that everybody has a wonderful weekend, and will the following students please come to the front office to pick up a bus card? Bok Choi, China Chidas, Maya Kirby, Giovanni Faulkner, Riley Cooper, Paulina Aguilar, Brisa Hernandez, Ana Paulo Lugo Martinez. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Sorry about that. All right. So anyway, so again, we have the price per bottle. It's $4.35 for 3 bottles. We want to know the price for 1 bottle. So how do I get from 3 to 1? As before, we're going to divide by itself because 3 divided by 3 is 1. So we're going to divide 435 by 3 as well. 435 divided by 3 is going to give us an amount of $1.45. $1.45. So yes, you're buying 3 bottles, but it's as if you were buying each one for $1.45. So the question becomes, what is a better deal? Is it for Croakers or for Slans? In theory, Slans is a better deal because it is $1.45. However, you have to buy 3. So it really depends on how many you're actually buying. But in theory, if you want to get the best deal, you get a better deal at Slans. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that in mind, let's go to number 10. Number 10. And really quickly, again, we are going to be finding the price per item, but this time we're going to be working with rockets. There's a science teacher, and he's trying to buy rockets, so he's trying to buy as many as he can for a science experiment in his classes. And so he goes to 3 different stores. He goes to ABC Toys, he goes to the Science Supply, and to K Museum Store. And as you can see, we have different rates. We have $49.95 for 5 rockets at ABC Toys, $29.99 for 2 rockets at the Science Supply Store. And at K Museum Store, we have $34.95 for 3 rockets. And so for each of these, for ABC, for the Science Store, and for K Museum, we want to get the best deal possible. So let's see the unit price for each of these. Since we're doing unit price, again, we're going to be doing price per rocket this time. That's my item. My item is rocket. Price per item per rocket for ABC. My price per rocket for the Science Supply Store. And my price per rocket for K Museum Store. All right, at ABC, we have $49.95 for 5 rockets. But again, we're trying to get the unit price, so that's the price for 1 rocket. So just as we've done before, what do I need to do to 5 to become 1? I divide by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. So that means that I must divide $49.95 by 5 as well. Having done that, you're going to find that $49.95 divided by 5 is going to give me $9.99 exactly. So that means that each rocket at ABC Toys is going to be $9.99. Technically, I don't know if you can buy them one at a time, but buying 5, it's as if you bought each for $9.99. Similar deal we have at the Science Supply Store. We can buy, the price is going to be $29.99 for 2 rockets. But again, we want to find the price not for 2 rockets, but for 1 rocket. So the way that we can do that, ladies and gentlemen, is we can divide 2 by 2. 2 divided by 2 is going to be 1. And meaning that I have to divide $29.99 by 2. Now here's something interesting happens, because when you actually divide these 2, your actual price for your rockets is going to be $14.99. 995. Now, by now, you should know that when we're working with money, we only go up to 2 decimal places, but it is so important, ladies and gentlemen, that you guys work all the way through to the third, at least the third decimal place. In this case, it goes all the way up to 3 because if we're going to be rounding to the hundreds, we only want 2 decimal places. I need to consider the 5 because the 5 is going to tell me if I'm going to round up or if I'm going to stay the same. And in this case, the 5, it tells me to round up. So that means that the 9, we have to add 1 to the 9, which becomes 10. So that's going to become, and the next line is also going to become 10. And the 4 is going to become a 5. So ladies and gentlemen, really, we're paying $15 for 1 rocket at the Science Supply Store. Finally, I want you to work on the museum, on the K Museum store on your own, where we are, follow the same pattern. What is the price for how many rockets? And then find the price for 1 rocket. And then for number 11, you just say which one of those is the best deal. So obviously, ABC is better than Z Science Store because this is $9.99 versus $15 per rocket. But we want to see what the unit rate is at K Museum store to see if that's better or worse than ABC. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you found this helpful. It really is just an application of what we've been doing all week. So again, if you have questions, please send me an email. But with that in mind, I will see you on next week, I guess. Have a good weekend.